The banned book I chose to share with you today is The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. This was a National Book Award winner, and it's been banned in various school districts for language, sex, alcoholism, violence. Well, those are the big ones. And Arnold Spirit is a teenage boy on the Spokane Indian Reservation who's decided to, well, try to get off the reservation by attending the pretty much all-white school just off the reservation in Reardon. It's 22 miles away and there's no school bus, so even just getting there is a challenge. But he's giving it a shot. I walked like a zombie through the next few weeks in Reardon. Well, no, that's not exactly the right description. I mean, if I'd been walking around like a zombie, I might have been scary. So no, I wasn't a zombie, not at all, because you can't ignore a zombie. That made me, well, it made me nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. In fact, if you think of everybody with a body, soul, and brain as a human, then I was the opposite of human. It was the loneliest time of my life. And whenever I get lonely, I grow a big zit on the end of my nose. If things didn't get better soon, I was going to turn into one giant walking, talking zit. A strange thing was happening to me. Zitty and lonely, I woke up on the reservation as an Indian, and somewhere on the road to Reardon, I became something less than Indian. And once I arrived at Reardon, I became something less than Indian. Those white kids did not talk to me. They barely looked at me. Well, Roger would nod his head at me, but he didn't socialize with me or anything. I wondered if maybe I should punch everybody in the face. Maybe they'd all pay attention to me then. I just walked from class to class alone. I sat at lunch alone. During PE, I stood in the corner of the gym and played catch with myself. Just tossed a basketball up and down, up and down. And I know you're thinking, okay, Mr. Sad Sack, how many ways are you going to tell us how depressed you were? And okay, maybe I'm overstating my case. Maybe I'm exaggerating, so let me tell you a few good things that I discovered during that awful time. First of all, I learned that I was smarter than most of those white kids. Oh, there were a couple girls and one boy who were little Einsteins, and there's no way I'd ever be smarter than them, but I was way smarter than 99% of the others. And not just smart for an Indian, okay? I was smart, period. Let me give you an example. In geology class, the teacher, Mr. Dodge, was talking about the petrified wood forests near George Washington on the Columbia River, and how it was pretty amazing that wood could turn into rock. I raised my hand. Yes, Arnold, Mr. Dodge said. He was surprised. That was the first time I'd raised my hand in his class. I said, yes, I was that articulate. Spit it out, Dodge said. Well, I said, petrified wood is not wood. My classmates stared at me. They couldn't believe that I was contradicting a teacher. If it's not wood, Dodge said, then why do they call it wood? I don't know, I said. I didn't name the stuff, but I know how it works. Dodge's face was red. Hot red. I'd never seen an Indian look that red, so why do they call us the Redskins? Okay, Arnold, if you're so smart, Dodge said, then tell us how it works. Well, what happens is, or when you have wood that's buried under dirt, then minerals and stuff sort of soak into the wood. They kind of melt the wood and the glue that holds the wood together, and then the minerals sort of take the place of the wood and the glue. I mean, the minerals keep the same shape as the wood. Like, if the minerals took all the wood and glue out of a tree, then the tree would still be a tree, sort of, but it would be a tree made out of minerals. So, you see, the wood has not turned into rocks. The rocks have replaced the wood. Dodge stared hard at me. He was dangerously angry. Okay, Arnold, Dodge said, where did you learn this fact? On the reservation? Yes, we all know there's so much amazing science on the reservation. My classmates snickered. They pointed their fingers at me and giggled. Except for one, Gordy, the class genius. He raised his hand. Gordy, Dodge said, all happy and relieved and stuff, I'm sure you can tell us the truth. Actually, Gordy said, Arnold is right about petrified wood. That's what happens. Dodge suddenly went all pale. Yep, from blood red to snow white in about 2 seconds. If Gordy said it was true, then it was true, and even Dodge knew that. Mr. Dodge wasn't even a real science teacher. That's what happens in small schools, you know? Sometimes you don't have enough money to hire a real science teacher. Sometimes you have an old real science teacher who retires or quits and leaves you without a replacement. And if you don't have a real science teacher, then you pick one of the other teachers and make him the science teacher. And that's why small-town kids sometimes don't know the truth about petrified wood. Well, isn't that interesting, the fake science teacher said. Thank you for sharing that with us, Gordy. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Dodge thanked Gordy, but didn't say another word to me. Yep, now even the teachers were treating me like an idiot. I shrank back into my chair and remembered when I used to be a human being. Sherman Alexie writes very well. He incorporates humor. He also has sections where he writes so vividly that you really just want to cry. Arnold's dog is shot because they can't take him to the vet. So I'm sorry that various school districts have deprived their students of the wonderful experience of reading the absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian.